Hi, this is Conrad Zimmerman of FistShark Marketing, here to remind you that this show exists thanks to the financial support of our listeners. For less than the price of a lower back tattoo, you can make your family question where they went wrong without pain and disfigurement. Just visit patreon.com/FistShark or click that big Patreon button at FistShark.com. And thanks for listening.
So guys, I don't know if you heard, but that Ghostbusters movie, 2016 Ghostbusters, it didn't do good. It didn't make it.
Well,
and,
I wasn't representing it, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, really not my problem.
Yeah.
Is it somewhat unfortunate for the long-term plans of the Ghostbusters franchise? Yeah, maybe, but not our problem.
Well, it's going to be
bounce
hard
back.
for us to pitch that all Red Ant version of Ghostbusters now.
That's true, but, you know, you win some, you lose some, we'll put it on the back burner, I'm sure it'll come around again.
Well, it could be put on the front burner, actually, because the Ghostbusters guys got in touch with me, and they came to me and asked me to share it with you to figure out what went wrong and how it could be fixed, and I think I've got the answer.
I think you got the answer. Well, I mean, it wasn't a casting issue.
No, great cast. It wasn't a problem with the visual direction, the style, the costuming, the backgrounds, the sets.
As far as I could tell, everything was on point. I mean, I just watched the trailer and based everything off that, but so did everyone else. So I feel like I got a good gist of what was going on. I didn't see anything that shouldn't have made money.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. When you actually watch the movie, there is no exploratory, explanatory rap tune that tells you about the movie that you actually just watched and are watching. And that's really where they went wrong. I don't know if you've seen...
Of course there was. I mean, that's in most films, isn't it? I mean, I've to be honest with you, Paulson, actually, do you mind if I call you Paul?
Sure, I suppose you could call me Paul.
Okay. It's just, it makes things difficult because I already know a Paulson, and he was a fuck wizard. So, I've not watched a movie, a full-length feature film, since Krull. So I don't know what's happened in the interim, but I'd heard that they all have explanatory rap songs where the lyrics tell you what's going on in the film.
Well, Ghostbusters 2 did.
Well, that's the history of film, isn't it? Krull, Ghostbusters 2, New Coke Ghostbusters.
Well, there were other films. Schindler's List, American History X, and they did okay.
I'll tell you what, though, I did not find that first one you mentioned particularly funny. Which, as a Friends spin-off, I thought Chandler's List would be hilarious. I was very disappointed. Perry wasn't even in it.
I can see that. It did get a mixed reception. Not everyone was on board with Chandler's List. But the thing I'm trying to get to, Ghostbusters 2.
Yes.
Bobby Brown. Mm-hmm. You're watching the movie, and you're enjoying it because it's a wonderful film. And then all of a sudden, Bobby Brown comes in, lead singer of New Edition, and raps about the things you saw 35 minutes earlier in the movie. The movie starts with Ray Stantz and Winston Zeddemore, the Ghostbusters, at a party for a bunch of children. And all the while, there's slime under the building. And then 35 minutes later, Bobby Brown raps about that. He says they were throwing a party for a bunch of children, but all the while the slime was under the building. And you're like, you're right. Thank you for telling me about what I am watching.
They let you know what happened in case you forgot. Right. I mean, it's a genius idea. Like, if that had happened, like in the last act of Krull, I wouldn't have been so confused. I forgot why one of them only had one eye. If Bobby Brown had come on and said, don't worry, that one's not a human, that's why it's only got one eye, that guy's going to turn into a tiger in a minute. Like, I'd have been much more emotionally invested in Krull. It's called a glaive, but it's not really. It's closer to a frisbee. You know? I don't know what Bobby Brown sounds like.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much spot on, Brown. The viewer doesn't want to have to work that hard. People don't understand. You want your music and your plot to be one and the same in a movie. So we've been asked to move forward with this idea to help other floundering film franchises like Alien. I see her on the list. Friday the 13th. Not sure what
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, I've heard something about it. It's something
Yeah,
about holidays.
it's about a hockey player who gets really angry. I think it's like maybe a Michael Bay reboot of Mighty Ducks or something like that. Like one of them just goes fucking spare.
Well, yeah, so we can use that. We have all the scripts for these new movies in the works.
Okay,
like Friday the 13th Part 3, but it's actually a remake of Part 3. That's partly Part 3 and 4. It's a little confusing, but long and short of it, okay. Flipping through. So, some teenagers are making love in a shower in the beginning, and the hockey player, Jason Voorhees, kills them with a machete, drives it straight through this guy's neck and into the cleavage of the woman.
Classic kill. Classic
she screams.
Kill.
Yeah. It looks really scary. And then later, Jason in Manhattan is jogging through the city, getting ready for the big fight at the end. He's trying to get in shape.
Of course, yeah.
Burn some calories.
Preparing against, I don't know, like, is it Ivan Drago or not?
It's unclear at this point. They just have untitled movie villain at the end. So
right.
It could be another horror icon like Frederick Phelps, I think his name is.
Probably have to see who the rights were available for and make a decision on that.
Yeah. I mean, are there other hockey films that we could have a better hockey player? I mean, that could be a direction for the Jason franchise. Is every movie he comes up against another hockey player. This time he can't beat. But the one that he fought in the second one is his trainer for the next one.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, so like he has to play against Wayne Gretzky from
exactly.
Gretzky's hockey NFL.
I mean, instead of Friday the 13th, which people can't remember, we just call it, hockey 3, hockey 4. And then the last one in the series we'll just call, Hockey Voorhees, just to really wrap it up.
Yeah, I know it might be a bit of a stretch, and it could be a challenge, but we could always put Happy Gilmore in.
Oh,
I mean, if you really want to have a couple of horror icons going at it, Jason Voorhees and Adam Sandler.
Can we get Adam Sandler in a shower and then have a machete go through his neck?
The shower part's a struggle.
Yeah.
The machete
that's
part
it. He
is
hates water, I forgot. Makes him crinkly.
But the machete part, I mean, he's done special effects movies before. Little Nicky, the famous film about the son of the devil parading around New York City, demonic powers, Ozzy Osbourne cameo. So it's possible.
Yeah. Conrad, what is the status of Sandler right now? Has he fully engorged himself on a few comedians? Like, is he ready for being, taken out of the sarcophagus again?
The problem I have is if we don't put him into something that is funny, then he's just going to get angry.
That's true. I tell you what, I'll have a word with Margaret in continuity, and we'll see what status we are with him before we move forward with that. But to get back to the musical idea, I really am liking this idea of bringing back the expository rap.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we can work Adam Sandler into that at this point, but there's other movie, Alien. It's called Alien 2.
What's that about?
Yeah, it's a prequel to a sequel. It's about a kind of a 2B, kind of a slimy, sexy but scary, unearthly beast crawling through air shafts and murdering people with kind of a mouth tongue.
Oh, Jiggly!
There's a lot of story here. There's a lot of crawling and there's a lot of acid. There's a lot of wetness. So maybe rapping about that. It looks like about halfway through the movie, 50% of the human characters have been killed. The alien is somewhere on the surface of a planet. They're having to destroy the alien, or they have to destroy the planet. So as they're doing their montage, looking around the planet, something like wet, sweat, Alien breath, gonna kill ya, killed your dad, look at his dead body. Eaten heartily, the alien chomping down. What about towns? Let's move. Let's move to a new town.
It's got a pretty fresh beat. That particular rap. I like it. I like the other bit as well. I'm crawling through a vent. It's grabbing my legs. Who the hell opened all these fucking eggs? It's quite good.
Wow, I'm feeling more confident. I think the trick is going to be...
We moved to a new town. I'm doing my best. Hold up, I got a pain in my chest.
Ooh, yeah. Love it. So, Lyle Lovett, maybe we can get him to do the rap. A famous, beloved singer-songwriter. It's not only about the lyrics, it's about the star power. So,
of course it is.
We're going to have to select wisely, I think.
Does Lyle Lovett rap, though?
In the same way that Bob Uecker speaks and makes sense. Bob Uecker, he's probably available. Mr. Belvedere was a few years ago now. I'm not sure what he's done since. Or maybe Mr. Belvedere himself. He's got an incredible cadence, an incredible speaking voice.
Rich and creamy like a good soup.
What was his name again? It was a woman's name, I think, like Florence Henderson.
I think it was Mr. Belvedere.
First name, Mr.
Yeah.
Theme song by Dr. John, if I remember correctly.
That sounds like a rapper's name.
Yeah, maybe we could get Dr. John.
So Dr. John rapping the story to aliens in Alien 2.
The prequel.
The official prequel. Yeah, I mean, so long as we get Kate McKinnon in that, then I think we've got ourselves a blockbuster. Toasty Boy.
Okay.
Is this a cereal?
You want more. I always forget I need to say more when I pitch an idea. Toasty Boy is a new act that I've been working with. He's someone that I scouted recently. He's operating in the Boston area. Toasty Boy the Clown.
Huh. Okay. Sounds promising.
What do you think of him?
Well, I mean, I don't really know anything else about him. I mean, what kind of clown work is he going to be doing? Is he a children's clown, or is this some sort of big stage thing? There's not a lot of just single clown performances in large theaters anymore. That seems to have fallen by the wayside. You are either part of a circus if you're going to be a part of a big spectacle, or it seems like you're working street or working parties.
Well, he's not a traditional clown.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, he's not really a clown per se. I've been calling him Toasty Boy the Clown because...
Oh, okay. All right.
That gets him booked more. So if a parent has a child, they want a clown for a child's birthday party, something like that. They might hit up, that new department we set up, FistShark, people who come to children's parties and entertain the children at the parties, media. Then they come to us, and I have Toasty Boy the Clown and give them to them, and then he's their problem for an hour.
So he's not formally an entertainer?
Oh, no, he's formally an entertainer. As in, formerly he was an entertainer before what he is now.
Oh.
Oh, he's formally an entertainer.
He's between jobs right now.
It's between formalities?
Yeah. I'm trying to get him back into entertainment. He'd like to get back into entertainment himself. He's just barred from most theatres and public places. But not from people's homes. He's like a vampire. Once you invite him in, he's there to stay for an hour until the police arrive, and then he's back with me. I'm just trying to find him a stable gig. Toasty Boy, the Clown. As I say, not traditionally a clown, but he does have a red nose.
See, he sounds like a handful. I'm actually a little worried about where he is now, because it sounds like he's either with you or he is doing a show, but they're not exactly shows. He shows up, but he's not a showman.
I mean, when you say he's their problem for an hour or so,
Yeah.
what kind of problem is he when he's not somebody else's problem?
He's passionate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's passionate. He's very loud.
Could maybe if you helped us understand where the name Toasty Boy came from? We understand he's not a clown, but he has a red nose, so I'm assuming he just thought that was a goof on clown nose jokes.
No, he's just got a lot of burst blood vessels in his nose.
And is he toasty? Is he hot? Is he?
Heavens!
Sexually...
Heavens, no! Don't mention toast to the man at all. He won't do anything with bread. He becomes very aggressive if you suggest it.
Is he like sexually attractive? Like hot in the conventional sense of the term? Like
he's hot in the literal sense of the term. Terrible body temperature regulation. That's why the first thing he does when he turns up to a child's party is use the shower.
Usually, yep, parents not so keen on someone coming into their house to entertain the kids, but immediately disrobing.
Especially not on a day when he's flaking.
How many days does he flake on average?
Let's just say I've stopped having to offer the free plumbing service that comes with his hiring. It's just too expensive. Too much clogging. If it's any consolation to the parents, I tell them his pipes are just as clogged as theirs on any given day.
Like his intestines, his bowels.
A lot of chunks. A lot of things just come off him in general.
So what you're saying is the man shows up at a place and just begins excreting.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that. I mean, he's not an animal, for God's sake. Just things will fall off him. Sometimes in the shape of animals, if you squint. So, I mean, that's kind of a trick.
Is he sick? I'm worried about him, and I've never even met him.
We're all worried about Toasty Boy, Paul. We're all very worried about Toasty Boy. That's why I'm trying to get him back on his feet. I mean, on his foot.
He only has one foot.
Well, he's got a falsie as well. Plastic thing. If he moves his foot too quickly, it sometimes kicks off and hits a child in the face.
Yeah, I could see how you'd want to be careful about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a plastic bag stuffed with empty cans, so it's not exactly... it doesn't hurt the child so much as just terrifies them.
So maybe we can go with that. Maybe entertaining children, less of a strength. Maybe being kind of a Halloween horror treat. Being kind of a haunted house that comes to your house, a mobile fearscape. Toasty Boy, the spooky clown for grown-ups.
That seems exploitative, and if I'm honest, a bit offensive. Just because a dog ran off with a man's foot doesn't make him a Halloween attraction.
Well, I mean, something like that did actually happen in a horror movie, Invaders of the Body Snatchers. A dog with a human head ran away with some part of a body.
Well, if it's not Krull, I don't have a frame of reference, mate.
Well, okay, yeah, I would never want to exploit or in any way be offensive, so...
Is there entertainment value in watching a man eat a lot of cheese?
Oh, God. I mean...
How much cheese are we talking about?
How much cheap wine have you got?
If it's a lot of cheese, there comes a point where that becomes, I would think, very entertaining. It's sort of centered around that whole human ideal, of how far can a person push themselves. And when it comes to cheese, there really is a physical limit. And you know when someone should have hit it. And you could hear it. Like the body communicates to everyone surrounding it.
Mm-hmm. Well, on average, he'll have 15 blocks per $2 bottle of Merlot he finishes off.
And we're talking the 6 by 6 by 6 inch blocks. You're talking the big blocks.
Your fairly standard, your fairly standard grocery store block of cheese. There'll be 15 of that, so long as he's had the red beforehand. It's got to be the $2 bottles, though. Like you said, I mean, he's a man of taste. He wants, as he says, the good shit.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe if he didn't eat so much cheese, his body wouldn't be falling apart, and he wouldn't be flaking and excreting, and chunks just coming coming out and coming off and getting stuck. And
he can't keep anything else down. That's the problem. I mean, when I first encountered him, I took him home, I washed him off, gave him an egg. It doesn't stay down. It just comes back up. More so than it was when it went in.
So if he eats an egg, he'll spit up 2 eggs?
No, not necessarily. It's just more mass than you'd think that egg had. It's almost like the Event Horizon. It goes to a place and just comes back far, far worse. Just remembered that's another film I've seen aside from Krull.
Pretty good movie. Very good theme song. So, Toasty Boy?
The clown, yeah. I mean, that's the Toasty Boy we're still talking about, right?
That's the one.
Okay, I was worried you had another one. I was like, we'll have a bit of a copyright issue there.
No, that it sounds... I only want to focus on one at a time because I am concerned that...
So we're talking about Toasty Boy, the belligerent vagrant.
That the clown?
Yes!
Who?
Specifically, sorry. Little bit of resentment coming through. He's been with me for a few months.
I mean, I see why you went with clown. Because leper hobo doesn't have the same sort of ring to it.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's also, when you see him with the shoes that are kind of, the soles at the bottom are flapping, and he's found a suit, but you can see it all like frayed at the sleeves, and he's got a carnation in his lapel, which I don't know the backstory about that, but he pulls his knife out if ever you go near it. Then you kind of look at him and think, yeah, I mean, if his hair wasn't long and curled and matted and full of fungal growths, then yeah, he could almost be a clown. Shave him, put some white on the face, or at least just regulate the skin tones somehow, so it's not like this motley assortment of really, really unwell-looking, pallid shades, then there's a clown there somewhere who's got big hands. He tells me he strangled a cat with one of them.
I think it's a creative reinvention, and demonstrates really working with what you have to make something appealing. And I'm with you. I think the clown's a good strategy. I do think that you should probably just have him come with a hose and spray himself off outside before he comes in, because I think people get concerned when someone immediately comes in and says, all right, I need to go take a shower. Not everybody...
He doesn't say that. He just goes upstairs and helps himself. I mean, that's worse, isn't it, actually?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Is it working? I mean, is he getting work? Is he getting return work? Is he a hit?
Can you guys just help me kill him?
My Monkey Son is gonna be such a big hit.
Oh my god, I am so excited.
I've seen the first couple of episodes that they put together.
I could not stop laughing.
So entertaining and heartwarming at the same time, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not just another fly-by-night reality TV show.
No.
This one has real soul to it, This one's about family.
Right.
It's about bonding. It's about what happens when 3 families are forced to adopt a monkey and raise it as their son.
Oh, wow. I hadn't heard about this. I'm a huge fan.
Oh my god, I will get you the test DVDs. They are enrapturing.
Well, I am a huge fan of Dunstan Checks In, the hilarious orangutan hotel comedy co-starring Jason Alexander, and I absolutely love Every Which Way But Loose. The chimpanzee in a truck hanging out with Clint Eastwood, 70s, 80s comedy hit. Such good stuff. Those trained chimps and orangutans, hilarious, so charming, so much confidence. That taking that to the reality TV show front is clearly the way to go. It's the next level, is what I'm already feeling.
Absolutely. I've got to tell you though, like these aren't chimps. That's one thing that I really want to make clear to any test audiences, because people think monkey, people think chimp. Chimp ain't a monkey.
No, totally different animal.
No.
Different beast
I mean,
altogether.
for a start, a chimp can be quite successfully domesticated. A rhesus macaque, however, makes a very interesting monkey son.
And that's what's so amazing, because it's almost part action game show, in a way.
A little bit, in that there are casualties.
And there are, like, goals, and it's really the whole point of this is that the monkey needs to be raised like their son,
Oh, absolutely.
They have to do all the things that a normal child has as part of their upbringing.
Dressing it up, making sure it stays clothed, sending it to school, making sure it's not disruptive at school, because badly behaved child at school is a bad reflection on the parenting.
And all of these things, are difficult enough when it's a child, right?
Absolutely. I think, if anything, that's what my monkey son wants to show the world. It's that raising a child, any child, be it a human child or a rhesus monkey, is difficult. Think about it.
Are they sending the monkey to human school with other human children? Is it preschool? Is this like a baby monkey?
There are no, as far as I'm aware, there are no monkey schools in Boston. So we have been making sure that those monkeys go get the very best education they can within the American curriculum.
How's that working out? Because most schools are not equipped to cope or to handle, to educate even.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? I blame Common Core myself. Frankly, I don't think it's as equipped to handle monkey education as well as it is human education.
Well, and the teachers' unions. I mean, they're always complaining about how they're not getting enough money, but they're not willing to put in the time and training necessary to address the very serious need we have for monkey education in our schools.
What do you even teach a monkey? It poops, it eats.
Well, you could teach it to
fights.
sit at a desk quietly for once.
What are the parents doing in this situation? And they're just, does it do that at home? Oh, wait, silly question. I see what they do at home. We have cameras everywhere.
And what is going on in the home with monkey sons?
Feces, mostly.
A lot of screaming.
A lot of scraping. In the case of the mandrill, we got 3 families that we're following throughout the course of this show. 2 of them have a rhesus macaque, 1 of them has a mandrill. That one has feces and blood as well. It's a very aggressive species of old world monkey, Paul.
I've only seen them on documentaries amongst their own kind, living peacefully, sometimes mating violently, sometimes tearing limb from limb, various prey.
I'll tell you this much. You'll probably have the same thought process I had when you watch the scenes where the mandrill is getting its education. You'll almost wish that you were watching Mandrill vs. Skull, which we may pitch as a sequel because it's so entertaining.
Well, from what I know of these apes, these
noble beasts.
Okay, sure. From what I know of these noble beasts, they are much stronger. Their muscle density is much greater than man. So trying to physically restrain them usually ends in broken fingers, broken arms. Of course, their sharp fangs, their capacity to use all 4 of their limbs for violence. Their resistance to breastfeeding, they often just eat the breast, instead of a simple suckle. So many ways this could go wrong, and concerns across the board of potential harm to people, and I suppose the monkeys.
Again, this is on the parents. There's a really, really, almost tearjerker of a scene when the principal of the school brings in Mr. and Mrs. Fulcrum and says, look, your son Thomas has been very disruptive. He's got very violent tendencies. Is he getting enough attention at home? And you wonder in the back of your head, like what is going on with that family? Like, is the father mistreating little Thomas, and that's why he's acting out? That's why he's picking up the 9-year-olds and just flinging them across the yard,
Well, and the way these shows are edited, these reality TV programs, you never get to see everything that's happening, right?
Who knows what Mr. Fulcrum's doing to little Thomas? Little Thomas, the mandrill who just needs a chance.
I'm feeling like it's inevitable that the Department of Children and Families or Animal Control or both, maybe a joint home visit will be made by some state agency.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing we didn't mention. Social services are very heavily involved in this.
Yeah.
If you're raising a monkey as your son, then social services are going to want to know that child is getting the best upbringing that they can have.
Yeah, Child Protective Services are doing sweeps of the home, like, every week, just to make sure that everything is safe for that monkey to be in that
Keep it on the up and up. Yeah.
Are they doing an effective job? Are things safe for the family and the monkey?
Oh, well, I mean, they don't really care whether it's safe for the family. They're there for the children. We're talking about social services.
Right.
They're there to make sure that young boys and girls are in a safe and loving environment.
Right, adults can make their own choices, and
Exactly.
and they can harm themselves.
Well, not these adults. They don't get a choice because they've been forced to do this through a series of coercion techniques and blackmail or however other way we've managed to get them to keep these monkeys in their homes.
Right, but in regards to everything else in their lives, they get to make choices and they can deal with the consequences that affect them, but it can't affect the child. That child needs to be safeguarded from their poor decisions.
It's not the monkey's fault that it's in that house.
No.
All that monkey knows is that it needs to be raised right.
Needs to be loved.
Well, it doesn't even know that it's a monkey.
So they can't cage the monkey. They can't.
What?
Oh my god, that's barbaric.
Who would cage their son?
Sure, something bad could happen in the long run, but maybe something worse could happen if an uncaged monkey is given free rein in a family's home without leashes or any sort of containment of any kind.
I'll tell you what happens when that happens, Paul.
Yeah?
Quality television.
FistShark Marketing is Jim Sterling, Conrad Zimmerman, and Paul Sincere. Theme music by Ben Rama. Additional music by Alazar Chand. Our editor is Alan Smithy. Get more episodes and learn how to support the show at FistShark.com. Follow us on Twitter at FistShark for more of our exploits. Complaints can be forwarded via email to fistsharkmarketing@aol.com. And remember, the squeaky wheel gets replaced. Goodbye.